Just a really quick update on my 300-gallon fish tank. There's nothing really new about it. Um, I've been doing the regular water changes, and I do them at least once a week. I do them on Friday or Saturday. I do a percentage of the water changes up to this line right here that you see there. So that's about a third, one fourth, whatever you want to call it. And then been doing the regular cleaning of the filters, keeping the water as clean as possible for them. Been feeding them normally, once a day, a good amount. As they get bigger, yes, they do eat more. So as long as you keep them well fed, they'll be fine. Which brings up what the video was about. Pretty much what I'm trying to say here is that the big fish that you see there, the big fishes, which is the white one and the orange one, those are the red devil fishes that they call them, that they're really aggressive, people say. And obviously this is a cichlid tank, so there's a lot of other aggressive fish. And a lot of people say, professionals in the fish business and fish keepers and whatnot, they'll say that these fishes are very aggressive. And they're right, but for a long period, they're not. What I'm trying to say is, when they reach a certain age, when they get as big as those fishes get, because of space or the amount of food that they get or anything that could be bothering them, they become even more aggressive, maybe territorial or whatever you want to call it, and they do kill the other fishes that are weaker than them or more vulnerable, whatever you want to say. But I've also found out that if you keep a good amount of fishes, say 35, 45 fishes in a large tank like this 300-gallon tank, these red devil fish or any aggressive fish, they don't focus on any one fish because there's too many fishes for them to focus on. So they don't really attack any one fish. They kind of just, there's too many fishes to look at, too many fishes intervening and swimming, and that they just leave each other alone. Number two, as long as you feed them right and they're nice and full all the time, and they don't really, because besides when you do feed them, they're still constantly looking for food anyway, so you're like looking through the sand or rocks, whatever, constantly eating. But if you feed them well, they don't get agitated or aggressive and want to hurt the other fish, because sometimes you'll notice when a fish dies or gets killed, you'll see like a lot of bite marks on them and stuff like that, and obviously they ate that fish or whatever. But if you keep them full, they're not going to get that aggressive. When you keep their water clean, everything fine, they don't get that aggressive. So for a long period of time, for several years, you can actually keep these red devil fish with other cichlids without having any problems, without having any issues or anything. You just have to be on top of it, on top of everything, and keep them happy. And obviously, of course, you have to have a large tank to have a lot of fish, because the water will get dirty, the space will be limited, and they won't be that happy. So if you have a smaller tank, you could keep a red devil in there with a couple of other fishes, but you can't reach the 30, 45 marker in numbers. Maybe 15 or something, depending on your size of the tank. So that's what the update's about. I mean, you got to keep in mind also, all of my fish except for one, and I'll point them out right now. That orange one in the back, this one here, right through the back, that's not a red devil. I forgot what it's called. That's not a red devil. He's actually a lot older already. He's mature. He's very calm, very peaceful. He looks like he's pushing everybody around, but he doesn't hurt anyone. He doesn't bother anyone. Doesn't follow anyone. He just wants his space. But he's the only one that I bought that was already large, that was already big. All the rest, every single one of these guys, including that Texas guy right there, and every single one, all of these cichlids, I got all of them, and some of them are African cichlids, like that blue electric one in the back, and a lot of these are African, and some of them are what you would call, I guess, American cichlids. I don't know, like that, those, what do you call these? The green terrors. I have 2 of them in there. You got to keep in mind, all of these, I got them when they were all small, and I'm talking about very small, like an inch and a half, 2 inches max. They were small. They were so small sometimes you couldn't even, the tank would look empty because they're all hiding or something, you know. You couldn't even see that. All these guys, every single one of them was small. Right now they're probably like this guy here. He's approximately about 5 inches, about 4.5. These red devils, this orange one is about maybe a good 7 inches. That white one is good, almost 7 inches, about 6 inches long. This guy's gotten pretty big, you know. Some of them grow really fast, and some of them take forever. Like that blue one right there, they take forever to grow. So does that guy right there. He takes forever to grow, but they grow eventually. So they get on great. Haven't had any issues. So it's just an update on, to show you guys, as long as you stay on top of your game and they have enough space and there's nothing that's going to irritate them, they have enough food, and you have enough fish in there so that they won't concentrate on just any one fish, they're good to go. Those red devils do fine. And I'm sure if every single one of these stays alive by the time they're full size and grown and really mature, maybe it'll develop some issues because they'll be much bigger, they'll be hungrier, and the space will be even more limited. I might have to take those rocks out, try and give them even more space, and try to avoid territory stuff, and just leave the sand only so that they can swim back and forth and kind of just not get territorial. But if you stay on top of it, you can have these fish with other fish for several years without having any issues, you know. And you kind of learn too. You learn a lot of things about them, about what they will tolerate and won't, and what they do, their habits and everything. Yeah, that's it. All these other cichlids are a little bit smaller than 4 or 5 inches, but they're still got some of those jeweled fish. These are more like a reddish pinkish. They don't have like the bluish jewelish colors, but usually they'll have like a red and blue, like they call them jewel because they have like a little sparkly stuff on them. But yeah, they get along good. I gotta clean that grass on this side. Oh yeah, I forgot. Under here, under these rocks somewhere, there's 2 clownfish that are about almost 2 inches. They don't come out as much. They do. They're just scavenging around. But they're under those rocks somewhere. There's 2 clownfish are living there. And these guys, by the way, they love attention. Every time they see me, they want to come out and... Yeah, there they go. There they are. I'm sure the bigger they get, they'll start coming out more and more. They just get a little intimidated by these guys. Because these ground feeders, you can only put a certain type of ground feeders in here with cichlids, because if, like for example, these clownfish, they defend themselves really good from any other aggressive fish. That's why they do well. If there were any kind of different kind of ground feeders, they wouldn't do so well. They'd probably get killed by these cichlids. And then I have 2 of the algae eaters in here too, to help keep the tank clean. And they've gotten bigger too. I've got them when they were only about 1.5 inches or so, and now they're hitting about maybe almost 7 inches. There's one down there. You can kind of see him. And there's another somewhere in here. Not sure where he's at, but somewhere in there. That guy hiding there. They're photogenic. They love the camera. Fishes are always very curious. It's just like if you're swimming in a lake or in the ocean, you stick around in the same spot long enough, the fish that are nearby will start coming out and trying to get close to you and see what you're all about and who are you or whatnot. Sharks do that a lot, but I mean they're a lot bigger, so they're not that afraid of whatever they come up to. The last one that I purchased not too long ago, I don't remember how many fish I have in here, I think like 40 or 41, but the last one I purchased was this guy here. He is about almost 3 inches right now. Not this big guy here, but the guy in the back. That guy. He's about 3 inches. What's up? Look how fast this guy changes his color. So this guy here, that's the dark stripe color. He is actually the same color as this one you see in the back. He's actually like a light color, but the one that has the dark colors will change its colors really fast within like seconds. And it's not an aggression. I found out it's not an aggression towards any of the other fish or anything like that. He does it only when he's near the other striped one. So they're probably male and female, and he's like trying to get the attention or something. See? He's trying to mate. We've already mated a few times, and they've had little babies in this tank, but of course the babies don't last with all these fishes in here. They just get eaten up. One of them actually survived hiding in the rocks down here, so he was about almost an inch in size, and somebody must have got him because I didn't see him anymore and I haven't seen him since. I think from now on, if I see any of the babies, that stay alive and made it, I'll probably take them out, just move them into another tank. What's up, Texas? So there you go. That's the update. And I'll do it again later, in the next coming months, maybe a year from now. See what's going on. See how these guys are doing. Well, all these guys, man, this guy's probably about like 4.5 inches long. I've had them all since they were really small, dude. Like probably the size of not even the size of my pinky. Like half of that. It's so funny. I wish I would have videotaped that when I first got them all. And every time I got one, I couldn't, film it, but I didn't. I didn't think anybody would want to see a bunch of tiny little fish. There you go.